how's it going everyone? JJ Star here and welcome back to another Pokemon Journeys episode review. Now before we get into the episode, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who's been watching these videos. Last week's video got over 300 views. I think it's the most viewed Pokemon Journeys review that I've done so far. So very big thank you to everyone who's been watching this. I mean the videos have been getting 100, 200 views on every single one. And for this one to break 300 views, it's just been really nice to see. Waking up, looking at the YouTube and seeing that the video's doing really well. So yeah, thank you for that. And with that being said, let's get into this week's episode. So with last week's episode, I actually praised it because it opened up with Go and seeing a bit of Project Mew. However, this week we opened up with a recap of last week's episode with Ash and Leon. If you can remember, we had Gengar beat Inteleon and then Mr. Rime beat Gengar. So both of them are at 1-1 each. Ash's next Pokemon that he sends out is Sirfetch'd. It'll be interesting to see how much this can do because it is a fighting type. And I believe fighting types are weak against Psychic. Remember the field, the entire field, it's covered in ice, but underneath the ice there is loads of Psychic energy that is ready to come out and just destroy, well, any fighting type Pokemon really. Both of them get their swords out. You know, Mr. Rime has this icicle spear thing, while Sirfetch'd has his leak, and they have like a fencing sword fighting match. However, eventually Mr. Rime catches Sirfetch'd's sword and basically just attacks it over and over again until Sirfetch'd loses its shield and can't defend itself, and it's just getting beaten up so much by Mr. Rime. However, Ash being Ash has a brilliant idea. He gets Sirfetch'd to use Sacred Sword and cuts the ice to let out all the psychic energy out into the air and for it to disappear. I mean, it's such an Ash type move to see, you know. Instead of attacking the Pokemon, let's attack the ground. But it worked, all the psychic energy went up and it just disappeared and evaporated into the air. Ash then returned Sirfetch'd and brought out Lucario. And straight off the bat, Ash raided up his arm, got that Mega Stone ready and activated it to bring out Mega Lucario. As soon as Lucario evolves into Mega Lucario, it releases its energy and power, and you can see everyone is just being so surprised by how much power this Pokemon has. But however, it doesn't really matter because Mr. Rime is, well, a bit faster than Lucario, even though Lucario is in its Mega form, and lands attack after attack after attack, and then does attack after attack after attack, and Lucario kind of feels like it's on the back foot here. It's getting scratches all over it, it's getting marks, it looks like it's not going to do well. But Ash tells Lucario to calm down, relax, close your eyes, use your aura to sense where Mr. Rime is and see where it's going to be and what it's going to throw at you. Lucario does so and eventually lands an Aura Sphere and takes Mr. Rime out of the battle, which means Leon is forced out to send out his next Pokemon, Dragapult. And straight off the bat, Dragapult lands a flamethrower onto Lucario. Remember, Lucario is part steel type, so it is going to do a lot of damage. But Ash has a good idea. Bring back Lucario and send out Dracovish. And yeah, I applaud Ash for this. It was a very good move to see. You know, he knew that Mega Lucario was a steel type. It was going to be weakened by this flamethrower. So he brought him back and sent out Dracovish. Dragapult goes for a couple of moves and eventually sends out its little two baby things to go and attack Dracovish, but Dracovish manages to try to eat one of them. You know what Dracovish does? Just opens its mouth and just eats everything that it comes across. I mean, it's tried to eat Ash several times. So Dracovish clamps down on one of Dragapult's babies, but it fails, and then Dracovish starts to grow these red teeth spike things from its tummy, and everybody is really surprised. They don't know what is happening. Even I'm sat there pausing it thinking, I've got no idea what could be happening with this. And we've also got to remember that Dracovish is a fossil type Pokemon, so not that many people in the Pokemon world will have seen this Pokemon before, let alone fight it and activate its abilities. So, and I'm guessing that these spikes growing from it is just one of Dragovish's dormant abilities that no one really knows anything about. Anyway, Dragapult tries to get in close, but the teeth on Dracovish catches Dragapult, pulling it in close and trapping it, leaving its head available for a jaw bite. Dracovish then goes for the jaw bite and attempts to freeze Dragapult where it is so it can't really escape. However, Dragapult does have a tail, makes the tail grow super big, goes for a Dragon Tail and hits it into Dracovish, swapping it out into Dragonite. Dragon Tail is able to hit a Pokemon, send it back to its trainer and bring out another Pokemon, which we did see with Dracovish going back and bringing out Dragonite. Dragapult then shoots off its babies at Dragonite, while Dragonite tries to go higher and higher and higher, spinning and spinning, so the babies aren't really doing anything. They then head back to Dragapult. Dragonite follows them back. However, Dragapult then uses Dragon Tail again and hits Dragonite, sending it back and bringing Lucario back out. Both Dragapult and Mega Lucario exchange a couple of moves. However, in the end, Lucario managed to get paralyzed, meaning that it can't really move around the battle much. So Dragapult is able to use Flamethrower without Lucario moving, and does so and takes down Lucario, knocks it out of its Mega Form, lands it on the ground, and it is taken out of the battle, which means Ash is now losing against Leon. You know, it's now 2-1 to Leon, and Ash is forced to send out Dragonite, who, bear in mind, has already just been spinning low, is probably a bit dizzy, then got hit by a Dragon-type move, so it took a bit of damage. But yeah, that's where we're up to now. Both Dragonite and Dragapult exchange a couple of moves. Dragonite shoots up super high into the sky, goes for a Draco Meteor, while Dragapult tries to follow it. Bear in mind, Dragonite is a lot faster. So Dragonite turns around, grabs hold of Dragapult, and then goes into a Dragonite Meteor, where it's basically spinning with Dragapult towards the ground, following the Draco Meteors, and throws Dragapult at the ground, taking it down. Which means now we're at 2-all. Ash has taken out 2 of Leon's Pokemon, and Leon has taken out 2 of Ash's Pokemon. Leon then tells Ash, "You are winning." Oh wait, he's winning. Have I added this up wrong? I thought they were at 2-all each. But then Leon says that, "Ash, you are winning." Ah, I've made a mistake here, I think. It is now 3-2 to Ash. Ash has taken out 3 of Leon's Pokemon, while Leon has taken out 2 of Ash's Pokemon. Leon then eventually tells Ash that you are winning, but all of your Pokemon are tired, they've all been in the battle, while Leon has got 2 Pokemon, Rillaboom and Charizard, that haven't even been in the battle yet. Leon then sends out his Rillaboom, and that is where the episode ends. So, what are my thoughts on this episode? I actually enjoyed this episode. I think last week's episode I preferred to this one, but I thought this one was still good nevertheless. Couple points I do want to point out though. Let's talk about the Mega Lucario and how, well, in my opinion, how pointless and useless it was in this battle. Yes, it took down Mr. Rhyme, but it's a lot more powerful than what it showed for itself in this battle. Yes, it was getting hit in and out of stuff with Dragapult and wasn't really able to test it, but it's got paralyzed, then got for Flamethrower, which is super effective. But I feel like Mega Lucario should have been a little bit more powerful than we've seen in this episode. Another point I want to point out is Dragapult. I mean, Dragapult surprised me how powerful it was, and the Dragon Tail as well, knocking everyone out, you know, sending Pokemon back to Ash, bringing out a different one, sending that one back, bringing out a different one. It surprised me how well it actually favoured against Mega Lucario, against the Dragonite, against Dracovish that activated its special abilities. So yeah, fair play to Dragapult for that. Another part of this episode that I want to point out is, well, Dracovish and it activating its dormant ancient abilities. I mean, again, I said it in the episode, when it came on screen, I was surprised thinking, what's happening? I don't even have a clue. Normally I have a rough idea what kind of move each Pokemon's going for, but I had no idea about this ability. And for it to basically grow teeth and spikes and trap Pokemon, it did look very dangerous. Another thing in the episode I really enjoyed was the little returns we saw. We got Wickstrom, you know, who was in tears because Sirfetch'd was doing so well. We also got to see Bee and Karina having a look at Lucario when it was Mega Evolving. Just little things like that, which is kind of nice to see that other people are watching the battle other than just Cynthia and Diantha. And of course the final thing I want to talk about is Leon and how overwhelming he was for Ash. I felt like in the last episode, Ash was on the forefront, you know, beating Leon, but now Leon showed that he can just play around with Ash and do whatever he wants, and Ash he'll get in Ash's head and basically take him down that way. Nevertheless, for this week's episode, the rating I'm going to give it is, again, a 10 out of 10. Although I do feel like it could have been a 9 out of 10. But I've gone for 10 out of 10. With the recommendation, of course, watch it. It is the finals. You know, I think we've only got 2 episodes left. I believe next week's episode we're going to see Gigantamax Charizard. That'll be interesting. Pikachu will be in it as well. Yeah, if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Like I said in the intro, thank you so much for watching all these videos. It does mean the world to me. Let me know down below in the comments whether you have any thoughts on this episode. What did you think about Mega Lucario and Dracovish and Dragapult? Do you think it should be a 10 out of 10 episode, or do you think it should be a bit worse than that? Or do you think it should be an 11 out of 10 episode? Let me know your thoughts. And finally, subscribe to the channel if you are new. But yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you next week with a continuation of Ash vs Leon.